dry fasting is absolutely the best way, not only to physically heal you, and you could go do your own research on this. Some scientists in Russia who were really big on dry fasting, they did a lot of experimentation, and what they say is dry fasting is up to 3 times as powerful for healing purposes as water fasting. What I want to focus on here, however, is the psychological benefits, not just the physical, although we'll brush upon the physical. And the reason why I'm revisiting this is because I have been doing intermittent dry fasting, particularly anywhere between 16 and 24 hours. I've been doing them on and off for the last 4 months or so. And so lately, I've had an off period of this. I'm here with my family in Doha. I just kind of eat whatever my mom makes. I loosened up a lot of the food rules that I had. I was just literally coming off of a period of basically just drinking juices for like a good 2-3 weeks. Just juices. I think for a good 3 weeks just before coming here, I only had solid food 3 or 4 days out of a 3-week period. And coming here and now eating sort of not exactly whatever, but very much just my mom cooks something, makes a salad, makes some cooked foods, etc., and I eat it. So of course I through a contrast, I could no longer do the intermittent dry fast because I get too thirsty. I wake up in the middle of the night, I'm so thirsty, I gotta drink something. So I get to experience the major contrasts lately, which only reinforces my experiential knowledge that the human body needs very little to be in optimal performance. So, of course, it's been over a week now of being here, and the way it works is the law of attraction, right? Like attracts like. You get on a momentum, it's the law of momentum. You get on a momentum and then you sort of trail on that momentum. You just kind of pick up the trails. So I've been eating whatever, let's say, just very open in no particular restrictions, nothing like that. And of course, what happens is I get on a momentum and then my cravings begin to kick in, and it's as if I'm like a kid again, just eating, being part of the family, eating whatever is there. And from past experience, I know that dry fasting, at least intermittent dry fasting, is the single most powerful tool to tame your cravings and, let's say, get back to your higher mind, which knows what is best for the soul. Because the body is just a vehicle, and if you spend your entire life gratifying the senses, particularly the taste sense, A, you're gonna have a lot of diseases. B, you're gonna die early. C, you're just not gonna have a pleasant experience in this realm. If your car is you're constantly throwing monkey wrenches in the car. It's always lagging. It's always a less than optimal performance. So today I'm on the 19th, going on the 19th hour right now, and I feel incredible. Of course, I prepared for it yesterday. I made sure that I told my mom, look, today I just want to eat raw, and I basically ate things that are high in water. I'm on the 19th hour. It was very difficult between hour 12 and 14. I woke up, I was very, very thirsty, but then the body now is adjusting. It's like bodybuilders that inject themselves with testosterone. Then when they come off the testosterone, they have to go through a process because their body, if it's getting its needs externally, it no longer produces what it already knows how to do internally. So then they go through a process after they stop testosterone treatment in order for their bodies to go back to normal production. In the same way, I witnessed today is for a good 2-3 hours, I was so thirsty. I wanted an external source of water, but I stuck with it. I laid in my bed and I know it's gonna pass. And after like a good 2-3 hours, I went into a little nap, woke up, I'm not thirsty at all. So the body now is adapting because it's seeing that, hey, look, we're not gonna get the external water that you're used to. You better get back to your own, to your innate abilities to do so. Your body is 70% plus water. And so I can say to you right now, and I'm not exaggerating, I'm not thirsty, but I was much thirstier, really thirsty 5 hours ago. Right now I'm not thirsty. And part of me is like, doesn't want to break this. So I don't want. I really don't want to break it. Let's see how long I can go. I can go today because I'm not thirsty. Right now I'm not thirsty because the body is now digging into its sources and now it's pulling the water. And like I'm telling you, this was so like just so thirsty. What happened? 5 hours later, the body began to pull on its own water, and I'm inspired now to make videos. I feel the energy rising. More importantly, well, just as importantly, part of it, I feel more blood here because there is now for 19 hours all my digestive organs are taking a break. I literally feel smarter. Because I literally feel there's more blood here, which makes sense. The energy, the heat always wants to rise up. The Shakti always wants to rise to meet Shiva. So now that there is no activity going on there, I'm not giving the body anything, the energy is rising above. So I literally feel there's more blood in my brain. I feel smarter. I want to make videos. I feel I'm more in my higher mind. I want to discuss existential things and stuff like that. Because I'm just doing nothing. Lao Tzu, reduce and reduce until if you want to gain, obtain daily. If you want to become learned, gain daily. If you want to obtain Tao, reduce daily. Reduce and reduce until all action is brought to non-action. Then when nothing is done, nothing is left undone. So when you do nothing, the energy itself wants to rise up. Shakti wants to rise to meet Shiva. And so the energy begins to rise to the higher chakras. And that's exactly how I feel now, only 19 hours in. Only 19 hours in. So I'm definitely going to be experimenting with longer term dry fasts, longer than 24 hours. I think I may go like maybe near 24 today, maybe not, maybe tomorrow. But I definitely want to do it. I was in the habit of doing that once a week. And as I get more adjusted to this, because I don't want to do it while I'm tired. I want to do it, this is the pranic state. See, I want to do it feeling good. So you have to really just work with the body. And just like if you've played sports, I come from an athletic background, so to me, I just treat everything like a sport. You just adapt slowly to something, and that's exactly what you want to do if you want to go into dry fasting, is you want to start just 12 hours, then 14, then 16, then 18, then 20, then 22, 24. I would increase it just by 2. And you will begin to feel this rise of energy that I'm talking about here. Anybody who's done a dry fast and you've done it properly, and you came into it prepared, for any length of time, 24 hours or anything more, you know how powerful this is in terms of raising energy, right? So if you want to tame any of your cravings, get on the intermittent dry fasts. And again, start off just 12, 10 even, 10, 12, 14. Your cravings will be tamed. Because look, today, knowing that I'm going to do this tomorrow again, yeah, I was aiming just for 18 today, but I'm feeling so good, I want to go longer. I'm not thirsty. So I know that I'm going to do 18 tomorrow, because now I went into meditation and said, all right, look, you're losing the plot here. You're getting way too tired. You're getting headaches every day. You're sleeping way too long. You're just getting to the point where you're knocked out on your bed. It's all becoming unconscious behavior because you're eating too much. You're indiscriminate with what you eat. You're eating things that don't belong in the body, etc. So now I made it clear in my head that for the remainder of my time here with my family, that I would abide by 18-hour dry fasts every day. So this means what? First of all, when I do finally break this dry fast, what am I going to go to first? It's going to be water. Because in that state, anytime you do a dry fast, when you go 16 hours, 18 hours, 20 hours and beyond, when you do break it because you're thirsty, you have such a great appreciation for hydration. What am I going to go for first today? Water, not food, not what my mom has. And I can already smell some of the cookings. And But that's not what I want right now. Whenever I do break it, what I will want is hydration. So this means what? This means that knowing that I'm gonna go again tomorrow and the next day and the next day and I'm going to be very cautious with what I put in my body, because I don't want to be thirsty tomorrow. So then I'm going to be gravitating towards foods high in water. You see? And I'm not forcing it. This is just simply getting back in touch with the Tao of the human body. The truth of it is, the most important nutrient is air. The second most important nutrient is water. And once you go into a dry fast, an intermittent one, which anything outside your comfort zone. So if you're always drinking water, just go in 12 hours. That's to you, from that reference point, you're already going into a dry fast. Okay, so keep it in mind. It's all reference. For me, anywhere 18 to 24, because I'm more adapted to them. To me, that's considered a dry fast, right? But as I even adapt more to that, I think, we'll go into different levels here. But anytime you go outside of your current reference point, you're allowing the body to adapt to tapping into its own water supply. And the further and further you go into the process, you realize, wow, I have been had. Like, I have been under a spell here. What do I really need anyway? Like, I barely need anything. Like, I'm going on 19 hours now, and I'm like, wow, I'm not even thirsty. I did some push-ups. I went for a walk in the sun, I'm like, what do I really need here? And so even when you do consume, you will intuitively be consuming things high in water, because you have such a great appreciation now for a state of hydration. And in many ways, all your cravings are due to your dehydration. I said this in a previous video, but try to experiment for yourself. Eat things that are high in water, salad, fruits or juices or just water, right? And feel this sense of fulfillment, like, okay, nice, Then, an hour later maybe, go and buy yourself some chips or something salty. Eat it and wait and see what happens. Guarantee you, within 20 minutes, you're gonna be like, man, I'm hungry. It's not that you're hungry, you're thirsty, but you're mixing up the signals, thirst and hunger. And now you go on this vicious cycle, right? Vicious cycle. You get another bag of chips, or you go see what's in the fridge. You go on like a whole new rabbit hole because you're thirsty, but you didn't realize that you're thirsty. You thought you were hungry, but you got it mixed up. You're rarely, if ever, hungry. Rarely, if ever. Most of the times, it's dehydration. And the dry fasting of any kind, of any length, again, it's all reference. If you drink water constantly, to you 12 is going to be like, whoa, a lot, right? So, but anytime you deprive your body of this constant abundance of water, see, abundance ruined us. This abundance of food and drink ruined us, because it completely got us in touch with this perfectly connected vehicle to its environment. It's always pulling water out of the air, out of its own supply. It's 70% plus water, and it's always pulling energy out of all these different sources, the sun. But because we have so much food and water around us, we basically lost touch with the genius of this body, of this. And so when you do a dry fast, an intermittent dry fast or a prolonged dry fast, 24 hours and beyond, you realize all these things. Only the people who realize this, for you guys watching, are the ones who know you've gone through this process. You know what I'm talking about. And if you haven't, I highly suggest it. You will begin to understand prana more. You will begin to understand just how much energy is available to you at all times. It's exactly no different than the bodybuilder who injects himself with his testosterone, so his body begins to secrete less of it. And then when he gets off, if he doesn't do it very cautiously and carefully, he could completely get this. His body can completely get destroyed, because his body forgot. It will remember. That's why the smart ones anyway, they are very cautious about the procedure of getting off testosterone therapy, because it's a process for the body to get back in touch with its innate ability to secrete testosterone and other hormones as well. It's no different. It's like it's exactly no different. Your body can pull on its own water, Your body can get energy from the sun. And it turns out we need very little, if at all. If at all. If you want to understand Hilton Hutima's message in his book, Man's Higher Consciousness, the Breatharian message, you've got to begin to experience these things for yourself, folks. You've got to be able to experience these things for yourself. Okay? So I'm glad to be back on this. I have to be back on this. Otherwise, I'm here for 3 more weeks. When I'm on my own, then it's easy for me to do all this. But when I'm here and I'm surrounded by it, then I pull my dry fasting tool from the toolbox and say, well, I'm only human at the end of the day, and I have cravings and I have programs, and nothing is more powerful than childhood programs and things you loved as a child. So I pull this tool now and say, well, you got 3 more weeks here. Either you completely lose the plot here, or this will help you get back to your senses, your higher mind, which it does now, because now, it's like, I guarantee you today I'll be consuming things that are high in water. I guarantee you that, because now it's like, it's like you reset things. It's a reset in many ways, which is why today I'm really trying to push it for a day, 24, 23 hours, just because I want that reset. Maybe then I'll continue just doing 18 for the rest of my stay here. But I definitely want that reset. When you get back in touch with what's actually important, which is hydration, which turns out to be, if you're not consuming much, if you're not consuming food, period, and if you have a relatively clean body, you will see. I mean, why do we drink water? Because either for mucus and toxins to detoxify. So if you have a lot of mucus and a lot of toxins, then you're thirsty. That's really the reason. So if you have a completely clean body, which I'm far from, technically you'll never get thirsty. And if you do, you just have to lay down, get some prana, and you'll be okay. You'll be okay. You can do a certain type of breathing that actually begins to secrete saliva in your mouth, which is basically slowing down your breath as much as you can. And you can try this yourself. You can do it in 3 minutes. You'll notice an increase of saliva in your mouth. Simply breathe through your nose and then hold it there for 7-8 seconds, and then slowly breathe out of your mouth. Do that for 3 minutes or so. You're gonna see it's gonna be more saliva in your mouth and going down your throat. So you can. I mean, all you have to do is, there's different ways to go about it, but one way is just slow down your breath. When you're thirsty, just lay down, close your eyes, slow down your breath. If you do that for 15-20 minutes, you're gonna be like, whoa, not thirsty anymore, or at least I'm not as thirsty. I'm not as thirsty, at least. You may still be thirsty, but you're like, I'm not as thirsty anymore. So it's incredible. The power of the human body is absolutely incredible. But we have to go through that initial phase, which I certainly had to go through today. Because again, for a good 8-9 days now, my diet has just been, the reason why I haven't been doing the intermittent dry fast, because I can't, because I get too thirsty all the time. I have to constantly be drinking water just to offset the effects, the mucus and the toxins and all that, the effects of the cooked foods and the salty. I mean, lots of salty foods, lots. Okay, so then I had to go through it last night, right around the 12th hour or so. Was so thirsty, man, so unbelievably thirsty. But I had to go through that. Now I know, if today I stick to fruits, salad, things high in water, I know tomorrow I will not have an issue around the 12th or 13th or 14th hour. It makes you know. You have to experience this for yourself. Experiential knowledge is the most powerful knowledge, because it's an innate realization of what is. And what is you're inside of magnificent, highly connected, perfectly connected to its environment, capable of getting all the nutrients it needs from what Hilton Hutima in his book Man's Higher Consciousness calls cosmic rays. Okay? So thank you to the patrons for your consistent and persistent support. I love you guys so much. Here's a big kiss. I'm really glad to be back on this. You don't understand, guys. Health, when you experience higher health and then you go back, you experience the contrast, Hello. So that's about it. And until next time, May the force be with you.